Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Shelly Mittal on the line, and she is Senior Executive of Communications over at the Trade Desk. That's NASDAQ ticker TTD. And this particular interview is part of our Asia Summit, where we cover the best of those that participated, those that attended the Milken Asia Summit over in Singapore, which if you're a long-term listener or you've been listening to this whole series, you know Mission Matters covered it this year as our first year out there, but we've been covering the Milken Conference for years. So let's get into the content. Shelly, first thing first, welcome. So good to have you here.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks so much for having me.
So we got a lot to talk about today, so I definitely want to get into the Trade Desk. I want to do a recap of what you're seeing in Asia and the Asian market climate overall, get into AI a little bit as well. But just get us kicked off here. The Asia Summit, have you been before? Have you been to a Milken event? Give me some of the backstory there.
Sure. Actually, this is my second year going to Singapore, and each year I go, I find that they outdo themselves. It's amazing.
What I mean, lots of conferences, lots of things you could go to. So this is year 2. They got you back. This was my first year, as I mentioned in the opening. So what keeps you coming back? What keeps you coming back?
Absolutely. So last year, I think I was introduced into the Milken Institute, and then this year I joined back as a part of the Young Leaders Circle, which is sort of that group of curious, motivated, philanthropic young professionals that really support the Milken Institute's mission. And so it was really fun to come back with a bigger group of friends and colleagues and kind of tag team and be able to absorb and sit in all the sessions together, but not only that, meet people from across different industries. So it definitely keeps me coming back. They outdo themselves every year.
That's awesome. What's one of your favorite parts of the conference, just in general? For me, I like to explore the panels and or information that I wouldn't normally see. Like my day-to-day is media. Obviously, I'm in LA, and this is all I go into. So I like just going to it's kind of like my little retreat where I'm like, oh, what's this about? What's this about? Because any panel you step in, you know it's going to be world class. Like it's going to be vetted. It's going to be the right people, the right information.
Definitely.
That's kind of my favorite part. What was one of your favorite parts so far?
So true. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go in trying to understand a new topic or something that I'm not as familiar with. But this time I think I wanted to get more depth. And being in APAC, I think that one of my favorite discussions was the one with something about from the India. It was about the India summit and about how India has been changing a lot and all of that. And obviously the theme of this year's summit was progress with purpose. And so it was really interesting to see how you can collaborate amid so much complexity, which I'm sure we'll go into.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's switch it up a bit here. I do want to spend some time getting into what you're doing over at the Trade Desk and also what you're seeing in Asia. So maybe just start off by telling us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, sure. The Trade Desk is a public company that I like to describe as the Bloomberg terminal for media buying. And so we work with several different vendors, everyone from Netflix, Spotify. But with that, we really are we believe in transparency, the open internet, and it's a really exciting company. My role there is I am senior exec comms for our CEO, Jeff Green. And so we help how he shows up across, not only in the tech world, but in the financial circles. And so really enjoy the role. And we're seeing a lot of APAC is one of our strongest markets. We actually have almost 35 global offices, and I was so excited to visit our Singapore office. And we see a lot of promise in APAC as well.
That's awesome. Let's get a little bit further into the market in general. So what are you seeing as you've been out there and you've been traveling? Get into the Asia market a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So obviously the Asia market has been really strong. I mean, I think as you know it, when we sat in a lot of those panels, we can see that the markets, there's always been that bridge of Asia serving as from east to west and seeing how deals can flow. And we speak to different family offices, we see about tech, and I think obviously as we all know, chip making, that has been heavily done in Taiwan and whatnot. And as you can see with the GPUs and these deals going on, Japan more recently with NVIDIA, Oracle, and whatnot. So Asia is something that is so broad but so powerful, and we can get into so many different parts of that, like whether it's the China market, the Japanese market, or the India market, and obviously in Singapore as sort of that liaison. Somebody tried to describe Singapore as, the gateway to Asia in a lot of ways because it's such a vibrant city and you can fly anywhere, but not only that, there's so many expats there. There's a large presence of major corporations there, including ours, the trade desk. And so it's so relevant and present. So the climate seems to be positive and there's a lot of things going on. And not only, it's funny because I come from a background of private equity in BC. So I always looked at it from a fundraising route, but now just everything is tech, and a lot of the conversations that we chatted about was all about AI, and you can't go to any session without AI being mentioned. So
yeah. Go into that a little further, like into AI and like how this is affecting whether it's the trade desk specifically or just what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think what I was mentioning again, it was a huge focus this year, but really what stood out to me is that it's no longer just a tech topic. It's a part of every global market conversation. So we hear people talking about how AI is shaping capital flows or then productivity, even national competitiveness. It's changing how companies invest and how governments plan and how we're thinking about long-term growth. So I guess there was one session that was described as a year of contrasts, and we're seeing volatility as well as like shifting monetary policies. But at the same time, you see AI and infrastructure are creating real opportunity. So there's a balance of caution and excitement everywhere. And I think we can see that playing out right now. I feel like everything's contextualized, but just this week, OpenAI announced, a $38 billion deal with Amazon to use AWS infrastructure. So that's massive. And that shows how fast the ecosystem is evolving. And so I feel that, there's a lot of partnerships that are happening, and it's funny because a lot of those conversations that were happening at the conference that was almost 3 weeks ago are now coming into execution now in present day. So it's kind of amazing that how the Milk in Asia Institute kind of projected this, and you're with such great minds.
Yeah. All right. So we're in November. We're just starting November as we're recording this. We're heading into the end of the year, going into the new year. We'll blink and it's going to be January. I can't even believe it, Shelly. I'm like, what? Where did the 2025 go? I swear we just started this year.
Yeah.
As we go into the new year, what excites you right now? Like, what are you looking forward to going into the new year, whether it's business or otherwise? And it could be related to trade desk. It could be trends. It could be whatever you like. What excites you going into the new year? And what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how all of these big deals and stuff are going to really project into the new year. I think that we're really in a very exciting time in our industry, whether it's within crypto or AI. And I think what I'm really excited about is like the limitless opportunity that's ahead. And I feel like we're in this .com era, right? And so people find it a bit nerve-wracking. They say we're losing the human, and I think the human aspect of everything, but I think that's completely the same kind of sentiment that folks felt during when Google was being made and other large companies, and that didn't do that. It created a lot more jobs and opportunities. So I think that's something, it's all about perspective, and I feel optimistic about next year. And so I think that's really important. And then I'm very excited about how AI and a lot of things are like influencing financial decisions. And so we'll see how things move forward in the new year. So lots to look forward to.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. I'm excited too. I think things are moving so fast and in a good way. And I think there's a lot of opportunity in those that are trying, at least staying in the game and trying to figure out how it works and how, it can best serve their clients, their customers, their own business, their own needs, operational efficiencies, you name it. It's touching everything. And it's kind of fun to me to see the pace and to see like things work. Like when things work, I like it.
One other thing I'm excited
No,
about
please
is I
go.
think there's been a lot of talk about, I think IPO season is opening up again. So I'm curious to see if
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI will actually IPO next year or late next year, because I
Oh
think
God,
that's
that's
going
gonna
to
be a
be a
big.
game
That's
changer.
gonna be a big one. Yeah. Oh
um,
my gosh. Wow. Yeah.
uh, yeah,
I think you're
what
the
do you
first
think,
person to bring that up
Adam?
on this show, by the way. I think you're the first person to bring this up. I think that's going to take over the internet that day. I still remember, and this was the last, obviously there's been more since then, but I remember when Facebook IPO'd way back when. For all the youngins that are listening
Yeah.
here, I remember it. I remember I was driving to Las Vegas, and I was like, I'm not going to be I was still in finance at that time. I'm like, I will not be on the office today. I knew it was going to go crazy. So when you said that, my heart just sunk for all my friends that will be in the office
Oh,
that particular day dealing with that, because that's going to be a thing.
it's gonna be
Oh, well,
huge.
all good there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great. Did you end up
all
investing
good.
in Facebook when it was that time,
Yeah, but that
or
wasn't, yeah, but it was way back though. And that was, it's gone up. It's done so much since then. That was early. So, but it was just fun to
I
be part
know,
of it all as well.
of course.
Well, Shelly,
Agreed.
this has been a lot of fun having you on and getting to know more about what you're
Yeah.
doing over at the Trade Desk. That being said, if people want to follow up, they want to follow your story, they want to follow you, they want to learn more about the Trade Desk, how do they do that?
Yeah, of course. I think I love LinkedIn. So if you want to get in contact, please follow me on LinkedIn or connect with me. I'm very active on there. So happy to
Mhm.
connect, or I think that's the best way. Awesome.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can connect with Shelly, of course, and then go check out the Trade Desk at thetradedesk.com. Again, ticker symbol TTD. So we'll put those links in the show notes. And speaking of the audience, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Shelly, looking forward to see you in Singapore for the next one. Thanks so much for coming on again.
Yes. Thanks so much, Adam. Appreciate it.